Now we have MSA, Measurement System Analysis. So what is MSA? Why do we need it? Please understand that. MSA stands for Measurement System Analysis. Now, I was showing you the example of thermometer. I was showing you the example of oxygen level or maybe your weight or anything, right? So similarly, in your business case, if you talk about any problem, like if you want to say that your quality is low, if you want to say your customer complaint is higher, if you want to say that your revenue is going down, whatever the problem is, you need to make sure you are capturing the data correctly, you are recording the data correctly. Because if you do not record the data correctly, you'll end up doing wrong project. Guess what? Let's say you want to do a project in weight reduction. Now your machine itself is showing 10 kg higher. So where, let's say for boys, let's say if you have to be at 70 kg, but your machine shows 80 kg, you'll be worried and you'll start doing a project, right? Wherein you're actually fit, you don't have to do. Similarly, in a quality, if your quality is supposed to be 95, and just because your quality analysts are not able to do it correctly, or maybe your machine or your equipment or software, there's some problem, and you know, it's showing 10% higher, I mean 10% lower. So sorry, I'll tell you the case. So let's say if it is showing right now it is 85%, okay? But ideally it should be 95%. So there are 10% of difference which is happening because of your QA or a machine, because they have not done it correctly, they have done it wrong. That can be another problem, right? So you may not have to do project. Ideally your process is good. So all you need to do is your calibration of your measurement system and fixing your QAs and all these, correct? Similarly, you don't have to go for further treatment if your temperature itself is lower. But just because you are feeling that temperature is more, you go to doctor, and doctor, when he proves that your temperature is within the limit, case closed. Yes or no? Sometimes it can be reverse as well. Your temperature can be really high and you must be assuming lower. That means you have to do immediate bigger project, quicker project. So measurement system can lead to a lot of problems, and many problems can be resolved using measurement system, you know, if we fix that. Okay, so I'll tell you, you know, measurement system can be applied in all kind of processes. Let me tell you one overall picture. When you join any organization, what is the first thing that happens? Recruitment team. You interact with the recruitment team. They are the people who interact with you. Now, suppose if recruiter is not doing recruitment correctly, he is not knowing how to recruit. He's either recruiting wrong people or rejecting you know, good people. That's a recruitment problem. Yes or no? It happens, right? Sometimes recruiter is in a bad mood, so he'll ask so many difficult questions and all these. So MSA or measurement system problem can be fixed at recruitment stage number 1. Now let's move on. Stage number 2. Once you join the organization, you are in the training, correct? You are in the training. So if you are in the training, what happened next? You're getting trained. Now let's say if trainer has evaluated you and trainer doesn't know how to evaluate you. He has done some mistake, or let's say you are not you know, you're not favorite for your trainer, some problem is there. He will give you lower score. Let's say if you know, he likes you, he will give you more scores, whatever it can happen, right? So problem can happen in training as well. Stage 2, right? So we have done measurement system analysis and we fixed those errors in the training also. What next? After you complete your training, you go for the production. Now during production, like production is nothing but either manufacturing a product in manufacturing, or in a service, managing your customer, like in a hospital, doctor is managing the customer, in insurance, you're managing the claims, or whatever it is, right? Cases, calls, whatever you call it. Now the second, there, if quality analyst is not auditing it properly, what happened? He will either give you bad scores or he might give you much higher score than you deserve. So that is on time, you know, on ongoing basis kind of evaluation, right? So there again, you need to do MSA. That's why you would see that people do calibrations, audits, and all these. Yes or no? And there, if machine has to measure something, equipment should be fixed, jigsaw. You have to look at, your caliber, what do you call, vernier caliper. And there are different machines when you are measuring a product, dimension, weight, and all these. Those has to be fixed so that they will measure all the outgoing product correctly, right? Next is, once you are done, now in organization, what happens is you are leaving the organization or you are continuing there. Now yearly appraisal comes. What happened in appraisal? Appraisal is nothing but your increment I'm referring to. So during the appraisal, if your manager likes you, he might give you higher. If he doesn't like you, he can give you lower. So there also we have done MSA to fix it, whether the way they are actually giving you the score is correct or not. So MSA can be done there also. So if you look at the way I have experienced, process excellence journey, I would say MSA can be applied in overall ecosystem rather than just looking at in the quality or just looking at the ongoing production. 99% people believe or do implement MSA only in the production or ongoing operation, which is wrong. Because if you do not fix all other 3 steps and other processes, then you can do mistake anywhere, right? If you are, suppose if you are hiring a wrong person, go on. If you are passing a wrong person from training, that's again a problem, right? So there are other processes as well wherein MSA is required. So basically, wherever there's a measurement is happening, wherever there's a data collection is happening, you need to have MSA. And MSA is not only for the job, it's not only for your project. It is like a ongoing basis that you can apply anywhere. Banks, they should apply it. I mean, everywhere, whatever the calculation we do. We have our own MSA on regular basis in training. We do a proper calibration in terms of how to deliver training. So whatever the recording that I have, all other training, MBBs will go through the recording, have the question, do the calibration if there are any doubts. So we agree on something, right? And similarly for the scores, similarly for the projects, similarly changing the topic. So you need to have MSA everywhere. Just imagine, now let's say if there is no standard or if there's no MSA, what will happen? Let's say you want to buy, I give this common example. If you want to buy 1 meter cloth, okay? But let's say if you go to China and if their 1 meter is only this much, and when you come back to India, it's this much, right? I remember, one shop wala, when you go for 1 meter cloth, he doesn't use the tape kind of, he will say, this is 1 meter, this is 2 meter, like that. So, 1 meter is different here, 1 meter, if it is different there, that create a lot of problem. That is where all the global standard, they came up with the metrology, they came up with the defined standard of what should be 1 meter, what should be 1 liter, what should be 1 kilometer, 1 centimeter, everything, even scale. One of my, so one company, okay, so one of our student, he's a COO there. That's a leading aerospace company, okay. So that's Mac Aero. I don't know how many of you have heard if you are from aerospace background. Okay, so what that gentleman said is, so because of measurement problem, a lot of batches got rejected. I'll tell you what happened. They have taken a measurement scale. They were manufacturing a bearing, aeroplane bearing. Okay, so when they made it, let's say if the measurement is 0.18, they took it 0.18. They supplied entire batch to the France. Okay, batch 1 got rejected. Now here, team from Bangalore, they did a lot of RCA. They manufactured, they produced another batch, again delivered, rejection, third time rejection, fourth time rejection. They were really, really pissed off what to do. Finally, they said, how are you measuring it? They said, we use a scale and it's a 0.18. They said, we are also using 0.18. Then finally they asked, which scale you're using? So they shown some scale. They said, can you actually courier that scale here? So they have couriered that scale here. They have found that was actually 0.16. according to our scale. Now, one example which I would like to give, which all of you will agree. If you buy a cloth from any local shop or somewhere, okay, and if you buy a cloth from LP or any other good brand, whatever, when you look at the large, extra large, there's a difference in size. How many of you can relate that? Give me a thumbs up if you can relate that, right? So usually that happen, if somebody will have to say that, okay, please, get me large or extra large. I have to ask him, are you sure? Are you talking about this brand or that brand? Because people in China and maybe other countries and people in European country, their size and the structure is slightly different, right? So because of the measurement difference, if you talk about large in China, I mean, double XL in China is equal to maybe sometime large in European, right? So those things are also there. So this is one small example I have given. Absolutely. And we will end up getting the wrong product. That's where we need to fix the measurement error.